Good afternoon, all our gardening friends. Now, we are back from our holiday and I am so pleased to be here. I couldn't resist coming up on the field to see what happened within the last 12-13 days. Now, just to let you know that both Nigel and I managed to catch COVID. This is our first encounter, although being vaccinated to the eyeballs, we still managed to do that. So I'll try to keep coughing, and I'm at bay, and I might have to switch the camera from time to time. Now, let's not feel sorry for ourselves, because this is our June allotment tour, and the allotment looks fabulous. So let me just show you what I can see. First of all, it's just so incredibly green. This is the Blackberry which we're trailing over the entrance here, and just look at the amounts of flowers and variety of bumblebees it attracts. They have different species on it, and there is more of it right behind the horse box. Well, I'm also admiring the size of the weeds which were barely there when we left, and look at this flowering horseradish. So this needs to be sorted out, but just behind there, these are our very first, and I think these are I cannot remember, are they Loganberries or Tiberries, one or the other. And if we just go over, there's loads of them to come, really loads and loads of them to come. And also the other variety, I can't remember which one is which. Look, the fruit on them is getting to the stage when it's gonna, maybe some of it is gonna ripen at some point. So that's very exciting. What is also very exciting sorry, are the, well, I was looking very closely at the planting of the Scorzonera and Salsify, and I can see that there are some germination on the Scorzonera, not so much on the Salsify side, but it's early days, and I will tell you how that goes. What is a little bit annoying is that something is digging here, which I'm not best pleased about. So obviously we must address those holes here, because we might have rabbits coming across like that. Yes, something dug up. These are the yacon planted just before we left, and some sunflowers which are going okay. There's a little bit of stinging nettles needs taken out, but something just dug up completely the dahlia which was there yesterday. So obviously we have dug some more holes, so there is some activity there. Okay, but you know, I'm not going to obsess about it. These are all the Jerusalem artichokes, which were, well, maybe, you know, sort of 6-7 inches tall last time I've seen them. And this is the smallest one. They were about that size. Now these are about 80-90 centimeters tall and looking quite spectacular. I'm sorry for using that many superlatives, but I just get very overexcited about these things. There's a cucumber which still holds its own. There was another one, but I have a feeling that stinging nettles have just swamped it. Well, one is better than nothing. And these are all our tall brassicas. These are mainly Brussels sprouts. There were some purple sprouting broccoli, and there is also some flower sprouts, and there is a little bit of weeding needs to be done. I can say that, you know, we do get infestation of um, persistent weeds like the mare's tail, and that comes off the path. So no matter what I'm going to do, we always going to get some of those. As long as we keep on top of it, and some sort of annual weeds, we will be fine. So we continuously have to remove some of the stinging nettles, some of these annual problematic weeds, but that's not the end of the world. Now, talking about things which are doing really well, these are the potatoes. So you can see the first 3 rows. This is the pink ones are flowering, that's Sharpies Express, and the next row is flowering in white, and that is Swift. And then we have the main crop Charlotte, which is just starting, I think, flowering. Some are still coming from under the very thick layer of hay, and these would be at the end would be pink fir apple. Now, the pear on this little pear tree are plentiful. Now, I am still waiting for the June to finish for any sort of drop, and then I will be removing the excess fruit. And this one is Concord. So this is Concord. On the other pear, which had only a couple left, this one is, I think, let me see if I have if I find the label. I think it's Commies, this one. Now this one only has got 2 pairs left, so I will leave it like that. Okay, let's just come out of here, and then let's just have a look at the rest of this area. So lovely thick sort of mane of the fans of the asparagus. We left it absolutely beautifully weeded. That will not take longer than 10 minutes just to get rid of a few weeds there, and it's doing ever so well. We should have really good crop next year. Just walking here, that's another outdoor cucumber. I've got 3 outdoor types of cucumber, 1 of each, I believe now. And this is a cooking Bramley apple, and I believe there is some 2 or 3. Oh, this one is quite biggish looking fruit on those, so we're gonna leave that as it is. Well, this is my wild area. Well, we will have to remove some of the wildness here. We will kind of selectively cut the horse radish and some of the stinging nettles. We're leaving these thistle for the bird food and so on. If I pass here, so what we've got here? Well, we've got a lot of bolted bok choy. Before we left, there was quite some of the bok choy doing ever so well, and then within 3 days they all bolted. But beside that, I think I still have some good radicchio here. Let's have a look right on the bottom there. There is a radicchio, and there is some really lovely red and white cabbage. Again, some weeding is needed here, and it's needed in this bed, and this is my favorite bed at the moment. Just have a look. So we're having some artichokes, and let me just have a look. We're having some artichokes here. We're having flowering leeks. I left them, we didn't manage to harvest them, and I just thought they usually have a lovely flowers, so yes, we left for that reason alone. I'm not sure if these artichokes are going to bear any fruit this year, but let's see and wait. And these are the spinach, which is the tree purple spinach from Sarah Raven. Well, they look just spectacular, I have to say. It's one, I would grow it almost as a flower. It's that attractive, and the leaves are quite big. Look, this is my hand, and this is the spinach. So again, some spinach which bolted now. We need to do a little bit of light. It looks big because everything looks so lush, but actually the weeds are quite easily remedied in those beds. And this is the other bed of the asparagus, and equally perhaps fewer weeds. Nothing that cannot be sorted fairly quickly. In this bed we have overwhelming number of volunteer potatoes, but we have also some beetroot, quite lots of beetroot. So this is not as urgent, but we need to sort that too. These were our Nicola potatoes, which had blight. We grew them for Christmas. That didn't happen very well, but obviously they've decided they're going to grow this time of the year. So we'll have some Nicola potatoes. And in this bed we have some, these are actually celeriac. There is another cucumber growing just in that corner. We have some shallots which are just sort of dividing right now, and we've got obviously lots of shallots which have been again overrun by potatoes, but what is very pleasing, we have first of our sweet peas flowering, and this is the arch for which we built to enjoy this. I'm going to come back to that arch, because amongst these I will also plant some cup and saucer flowers to give, after the sweet peas go, to give some more interest. Well, this is a lovely bed now. The wallflowers are over and I will take them out. They're all going into seed. But we've got some Dahlias came out here now. There is some various annuals like zinnias and cosmos coming up, and these lovely alliums. So that's really very joyful. They look very strong. Obviously the bees love them. So that's that, and that's the sweet pea tunnel. Nigel is looking at the water supplies and going into the next area there. Okay, and this is really what I would call, this is herb bed, but I will need to get rid of some of this very thuggish. I'm surprised I managed that long without having fit of cough. Some of the poppies, perpetual cabbage, some of the herbs, going great guns. Thyme is flowering at the moment, and here we've got again the poppies have just taken completely over. We will have to take some of these poppies out actually, because they are completely not allowing anything else to grow, and there is lots of plants underneath. So as soon as they going slightly over, they will be coming out, because we don't want them everywhere. So I'm going to pop in quickly to the main, sort of the old part of the allotment, and let me just show you the raspberry, what we actually having at the moment. These raspberries are just fantastic, and I said to myself when I first spotted it that I wish every gardener such a marvelous raspberry promise, and furthermore a harvest hopefully. So let's just quickly have a look through there carefully, because the entrance became really very narrow. There is some raspberries lying on the floor here, and masses. The bees might not be very happy. Oh yes, they're not very happy. It's telling me to buzz off. So we have loads, and the bees are on everything. So these are the blackberry. This is all one plant, the one trailed over the entrance, and this is all one plant, just gonna be covered in a day or two in white flower. Now more volunteer potatoes, we'll get rid of that. This is the directly sown runner beans and some calendula there. This area really is calling for second lot of weeding and some mulching, which we didn't manage to do before, and I think things might punish us for that. There is some French beans directly sown just coming up in different stages, so I'm not worried about that. Look, some of them are already attaching themselves and trailing up, and some are barely germinated. And more of those lovely raspberries. Well, it's just a wall of raspberries we're getting this year. Okay, so that's very pleasing. I'm gonna try to come out not to annoy bees while I'm not it. Okay, so what we've got here, we've got some flowers and beds. This is the bed I've been attacked by the ants, so I haven't done very much in there. There is some onions, and some of them are quite harvestable. I'm sorry. And this is some hardneck garlic, so I'm not quite sure if I should be harvesting it or just let it be for a little bit longer. Probably let it be for a little bit longer, because simply we're not well enough to do very much. These are the onions, and I can see some of them are lying down, breaking off at the, sort of not breaking off, but kind of. So I know that these probably are ready to be harvested, and I'm hoping that this is the same sign for these. These are kind of going over, so I will be harvesting it as soon as I can. Crimson Crush tomatoes doing very, very well, just need to be sorted out to take off the suckers off. The flower bed, some cosmos up here, and some lovely architecturally looking remnants of alliums now, and loads and loads of oxeye daisies here, some verbena, some antirrhinums. These are the yellow verbascums, and these are the beautiful pink verbascums. I absolutely love them. So we've got more cosmos coming along, and quite tall dahlias here, and I will need to sort the heads, the seed heads on that Aqualigia, otherwise we're gonna have that. All these flowers are actually outside the flower bed, but I'm letting them grow. They don't really upset me in any way. Some more lettuces, and there's some cutting celery which I've interplanted there, and again some onions, and I have to say they start lying down, so I know they're ready. Let me just show you So I think that might be ready. Nothing have fallen them. They just probably achieved what they needed to, and they are telling me that they want to come out. Loads of ready peas, probably gone slightly over, but we will be harvesting that as well. And just look at those pods. Look at those pods of broad beans. Nigel is harvesting some broad beans right now, otherwise we're not gonna be able to eat them in time. What we've got there, Nige? Oh, we've got some. There's masses. Look, they're hanging out here, whole masses of them. What else? So, this is the tomato bed. They all urgently need support. I have sent for the collars. I want to put them in a collars as well, the watering collars. And this is going to be the very first job next week when we hopefully feel a little bit better. We might give them a stick today or something, I don't know. To be quite honest, we don't feel like doing very much. But just make sure that they don't die in the meantime. But they need urgent attention, really urgent attention. Okay. So what else do we have in this, in here? So we've got some of those lovely daisies with very funny name. We've got some carrots. That's last year's parsnip. I'm letting to go into flower, and these are the blueberries. So last year we counted the blueberry harvest. There were whole 17 of them. I think we're going to be a little bit better off this year. Even these might have some. We just need to cover them better from the birds. A little bit more cover, give them a little bit more cover, and hopefully there will be more blueberries for us. And just look at these are red currants, but basically just everywhere in this bed look at the harvest here. Every of the last year stems I touch is just laden with fruit. So just look at that. And so are the gooseberries. It's just I'm not going to uncover that because every time I uncover, birds get in, and it's not even that they eat the fruit, they get caught up and so on. Look at those lovely roses. This is Rosamunda flowering amongst those soft fruit, and we're really gonna have quite loads of fruit. So I'm hoping to freeze a lot, do some jams and so on. We don't eat very much jam, so probably freeze for the winter and maybe do some juices. So we're gonna come out of there now, and yes, that's our lovely arch which Nigel built to my specification, may I just add. This is a running joke between us. Despite the strawberry bed being completely neglected, we are getting some strawberries. So we can't be perfect. We can't do everything. The rate at which everything has grown this month is, well, it's unprecedented. So yes. Well, I just passed a couple of apple trees. There's an apple tree there which had very tough time, didn't completely sort of gave up, but it's not having any fruit and a quite difficult time. Now this one is having difficult time because we've got so many weeds although we did try to exclude weeds in early spring. So these apples, hopefully we will have some, and we really need to address the weeds around this tree. What else do we have? So we have some leeks here, and these will be planted eventually when we have free bed in the onion bed. So they're growing here happily, and then we will put them in. And there's some more cutting celery in there. There's one of our courgettes, and I don't know which one sort of survived. There's been one which is completely attacked by the snails, and so is this one, and one completely eaten up. So no garden is without any disasters. From the first lots of sweet corn planted, they've been eaten up, and probably maybe too early, I don't know. Good news is I believe there is some more in the greenhouse. Now I think that this area is looking lovely, although again we actually put some paving in front of the hive so the bees can land properly, but as soon as the oxide daisies are out, we're gonna have to side the whole side of it, and mulch next year much thicker, because we can't really see the hives from the side. There's plenty of space to work behind them. This has been addressed, but you almost can't see the front of them, so I can't see what the bees are doing, so that's not really very good. I love these. These are wildflowers, and they grow in kind of slightly damp area. They look like stinging nettles, but they aren't. I absolutely love them. So I'm glad we have them. Now let me show you. Oh, this is some more carrots in there. So we have more carrots growing. Let me just show you what's inside here. So we have the homegrown chilies and so on, and we haven't forgotten about them. And these are the aubergines I've done from seeds, and the moneymaker, which have more purple stem, they started having buds, so I will be pollinating them at some point. So all three of them having first bud. The other ones, I can see there's a promise of a bud there, right in the middle, and we need to sort out the side shoots. Really need to spend 10 minutes on making sure that there is not too many side shoots, otherwise we're gonna have too many. Need to be no more than a couple, really. Okay, so these are the chilies. They're doing fine. There is some start of some of the red pepper is starting to having setting fruit, and so on and so forth. So that's going okay. There's some borage to be planted out, and these are our melons. They will go in a bigger pots. I've ordered some bigger pots, but actually I need to maybe order some more big pots. These should come out ASAP. So this is going to be the very first job I'm going to do. We have some blue salvia here, and this is supposed to be wallflowers for next year. Scarlet. There is an extra courgette here, so we should be all right. And some peas, which I dropped, but they're still okay. And we have some turnips, some coriander, some more beetroot, Swiss chard. These are actually the cup and saucer plants, which should be repotted and soon after planted. And these are some brassicas, so I will be taking these, and hopefully next week I can split them up and grow them, and we will be putting them in spaces which will become hopefully available. So that's what's happening in the greenhouse, and obviously the sweet corn, which we will replace the other sweet corn with. So that's what it looks like here. So the last area I want to show you is the Dahlias here. They're actually doing okay. I think one of them is already flowering. The hedging plants Nigel put in here, they look good. What else? I think we managed to take from this wild area that much of the, space. These are various squashes and pumpkins just at the moment in the pots, and this is the oca I planted.
Now I'm going home for my dinner and eat some broad beans. Make me feel better again. Okay, so thank you for watching, and I hope you've enjoyed your tour, and we'll see you again soon when the weather improves, hopefully. Okay, bye for now.
Bye for now. Thank you for watching.